Have you ever worked on a document, made changes to it, and wished you could have gone back to your first version a few days later? Can you remember that feeling of wishing you could travel back in time? For developers, this time machine exists, and it's called version control. In this video, you'll learn about version control's primary features and benefits. Version control is a system that records all changes and modifications to files for tracking purposes. Developers also use the terms source control or source code management. The primary goal of any version control system is to keep track of changes. It achieves this by allowing developers access to the entire change history with the ability to revert or roll back to a previous state or point in time. There are different types of changes, such as adding new files, modifying or updating files, and deleting files. The version control system is the source of truth across all code, assets, and the team itself. Let me give you an example that we're all familiar with. In word processing applications, version control functionality is available to provide users with a safety net of autosaving the document. The application creates a restoration point on each autosave to which the user can revert if required. Version control systems for coding projects tend to be a bit more complex, but their underlying functionality follows the same process. Working as a developer, you'll need to become familiar with many different tools, and version control is one of them. For developers, especially those working in a team, there are many benefits associated with version control. These include revision history, identity, collaboration, automation, and efficiency. Let's explore these in some more detail. Revision history provides a record of all changes in a project. It provides developers with the ability to revert to a stable point in time in cases where code edits cause issues or bugs. The ability to roll back to a particular version or time allows teams to work faster and deliver code with more confidence. Keeping a record of changes is great, but it doesn't have as much value if you don't know who is responsible for adding or changing a record. All changes made are always recorded with the identity of the user that made them. Combining this feature with the revision history allows teams to see not only when the changes occurred, but also who made the changes. Teams can also analyze the editing, creation, and the deletion of files on the control system. As a software developer, you will often work with a team to achieve a common goal. This can be adding new features to an existing project or creating a brand new service. In all cases, a version control system allows the team to submit their code and keep track of any changes that need to be made. Another important aspect of a version control system is something called a peer review. Developers working on a task create a peer review once the code is ready for inspection. The peer review aims to get other developers on your team to review the code and provide feedback where necessary. The ability to create and deliver code on a wide scale is complex and time-consuming. Version control helps keep track of all changes. It plays an integral role in the explosion of development operations, or DevOps, as it's commonly called. DevOps is a set of practices, philosophies, and tools that increase an organization's ability to deliver applications or services to a high quality and velocity. Version control is a key tool in this process, and it is used not only to track all changes, but also to aid in software quality, release, and deployments. You, as a developer, will usually work on a project alongside many developers and team members with other skill sets. You and your team need to be efficient to make your project a success. You and your team may work using processes from the Agile methodology. In an Agile process, a team normally plan and execute 2 weeks of work to complete, which is called an iteration. Each iteration has a list of tasks to complete before the 2 weeks ends. These tasks, while complex in some cases, are aided by having version control in place. If you would like to learn more about the Agile methodology, there is a link to an additional reading at the end of this lesson. Testing and having some level of automation on every task introduced allows the team to be more efficient. It also ensures more confidence that any new feature being introduced will not break any existing flows. You now know what version control is all about. Great work! Now that you have a better understanding of the goals and benefits of version control, you are ready to learn how to start using it.